All right. Y'all know. Who was that?
That was the track produced by Fascination Faz Clark with Morris Claiborne and J.J. Wilcox, former Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, that's the reason why, traffic is so bad in Arlington, Texas today because of the NFL draft. That's the reason why we know that. Y'all know traffic is bad. That's it. How you doing?
I'm doing good now.
We got our judicial candidate, Marilynn Mayse. You doing good now?
I'm doing pretty good now.
So what's been going on with you?
Just on the campaign trail.
Take
a deep breath.
You here now. It's good. We want to have you back on the show again. So we're going to just have a short abbreviated interview.
Okay.
And then we'll have you back on because I believe that your campaign is very important. You're running for which office are you running for?
For Dallas County Court of Criminal Appeals, number 2.
Number 2?
Number 2. Tell
us about the Court of Criminal Appeals.
The Court of Criminal Appeals, number 2, is a misdemeanor bench. It used to be an appellate bench, but it still carries a name. Now all of the appeals from the municipalities go to County Criminal Court of Appeals, number 1. So it'll just be handling regular misdemeanors of DWI, criminal trespass, Class A, B, possibly C offenses.
Now, your campaign, you're in a runoff now.
Yes, I am.
And so, to those people who are listening and looking at Facebook Live right now, they don't go out and vote for you on May 5th, right?
No,
that's the school board. That's the school board.
That's the school board.
I want to make sure you guys go there. You say, well, I didn't see your name. You had me going out there for no reason. No. Early voting starts on what on this election?
May 14th through the 18th is the early voting for my election.
We want you guys, ladies and gentlemen, to go back out again and vote. Go back out again and vote. But remember, we have elections pretty much every 2 weeks going into June. Your campaign, you are running against, would you care to say a name? Most candidates, when they come in, want to say a name.
I'm just running against a person that's not using her legal name. That's all
what
I can tell you.
What you mean by that?
Well, the name that's on her bar card is the name she should be running under. But she's not running under that name. And so if you try to Google her under the name that's on the ballot, you're not going to find a bar card. If you try to locate her through the State Bar of Texas, you won't find her under that name because that's not her legal name that's on the ballot.
Why would you suppose you do something like that?
I have no idea. Sometimes people try to attempt to be deceptive. Her maiden name sounds more, how do we say, Anglo than the name that she's using.
Okay. Now, your campaign, I wouldn't say your campaign's being rough, like really in the dirt or anything like that. There's been some allegations that went back and forth in this campaign.
Yes.
Yeah. How are you weathering up on that?
Well, this is what I think. The bottom line is anything that they say about me doesn't define me, okay? I'm a free person. I've always been free. And so I'm in this for one thing, to help people. And so you can say what you will, but the people in the community that I have advocated for, that I have worked for and struggled for all these years, they know the real Marilynn Mayse and they are with me.
What's the real, who is the real Marilynn Mayse?
The real
and
Marilynn.
What do you stand for?
I stand for truth and justice and peace and mercy and advocacy for all people. And I don't care where you live or how you live. You know, if I'm your attorney or if I'm your judge, I'll be advocating for justice and fairness for you. And that's who I am. And that's how I live from day to day. That's the only way I can make it. That's all I know. And so every day I rise doing the best thing I can for myself and others every day.
What's your qualifications for running for office?
I am licensed to practice by State Bar of Texas. I have a bachelor's degree from the University of Texas at Arlington. I have a law degree from the University of Texas at Austin. I have 26 years of criminal defense experience. I'm licensed to practice in the Northern District, which is federal court. I am a strong advocate, and I'm one of these people that I'm on the first degree felony list. That means that I can do the top felony charges that are charged against people. I choose not to do capital murder death cases simply because I'm a solo practitioner. For you to do your best work, you got to have a backup. when you handle cases like that. That's somebody's life. That's life and death. I never choose to play with people's lives. If I can't do or be the best advocate that I can for your case, then I'm not going to do it. And so I can do what's called Medicap. That doesn't involve death penalty. But I choose to not do death penalty cases just because there are other lawyers that are geared up for that can give 150% toward that effort.
What would you bring to this bench different from your predecessor?
I think that the previous judge was a good judge, and I intend to continue some of the work that he does. He uses the roads and bridges for people.
Was
he was Judge Rosenfeld, and he was a good judge, and people loved him. And I went to talk to him, and I said, Judge, we never hear a bad thing about you. What is your secret? He said, I trust my clerks, I trust my coordinators. He said, if you will be good to your people, they will be good to you, and they'll make you look good. And so what I intend to bring to the table, other than continuing dignity and respect toward people that work in the court, is to assist some of the felony judges in the programs that they have. Particularly, Judge Birmingham has a first offender program, and he could incorporate more young people to divert from the system if he had help. And I went to him and I told him, I will volunteer to help you carry that on so that more people can divert their cases and can get on with their lives. I mean, we know that if a young person is convicted of a misdemeanor, then they can't get state aid. Okay, so already we're suppressing.
State aid, you mean, what do you mean?
Like a grant.
A grant.
Yeah.
So if they're trying to go to school?
They're trying to go to school on assistance, they won't be able to get it with a conviction. And so by all means, the only way, I feel like education is the only way you can rise to the top. And if you already somebody have a foot on your neck and you don't have the money of your own, or you don't have a job to where you can work by day, school by night, already you're at a disadvantage. And so we want to help divert as many people as we can from the system. Now, some people will say, oh, you Democrats, y'all just trying to get in there and let people off. We're not. We are officers of the court. We have no intention of letting people just be a revolving door and abuse the system and violate other people's rights and break the law continually. We're just saying, if we can find a way to divert you to where you can be a person that is active, participant in the society, that's what we intend to do.
Do you believe that there are more people in jail that's supposed to be in jail?
I do. And
now, wait a minute, you running for judge.
I'm running for judge.
Is that the right answer to you?
Well, this is the thing. There are so many people in jail. A prime example. I want to incorporate a program that assists homeless people.
Right.
And I want to work with the other judges that are working with the homeless simply because it looks like debtor's prison. And so you know that homeless people have nowhere to live.
Right.
They have no money to pay these fines, fees, and court costs. So what are they doing? They're sitting off time. They're just sitting there. What about a community program to where they can do community service? They're serving the community instead of serving time. You know, you've heard the stories how much it costs per day to house people. You're not going to get money from a homeless person. They have no money. They have no family that's going to come and pay what they owe.
So loitering, that's the issue that the homeless deal with.
A lot of loitering.
So
yeah.
they will be appearing in your court.
Yes, misdemeanor court. And so all I'm saying is, if we can, money is always an issue, but if we can find a way that they can do community service, to have like a community service unit to where they can go and work, you'll be surprised if somebody is invested in working in the community and cleaning up the community, how they may not want to loiter next time. It lets you put some pride in what you're doing.
Outside of working with Judge Birmingham's court, the divert court that is, what other goals would you have as well?
Just setting up a program to help with the homeless, to find a way to incorporate fines, fees, and court costs with community service, whereby they're not just laying up in jail, burning off fines, fees, and court costs.
Okay. One more question before we go. As you know, we'll have you back on as well. We wanted to make sure that they apologize for the NFL draft and everyone doing it, but we definitely want to have you back on. Bail reform. You want to touch on that for a minute?
I do. Somehow it got out that I want to do away with bail bonding companies. This is what I say. We lock up who we're afraid of and not who we're mad at. And I don't know who came out with that statement, but that's how I feel about it. You set a bond according to risk, okay? And if you feel like a person, for instance, the pretrial release program. I used to work for pretrial release before I became an attorney. And what we would do, we would assess the risk of each person. We didn't have a lot of bond forfeitures. People came back to court. So for people that are not a great risk to the community, pretrial release is a good diversion program for them to get them out. But you're going to always need bonding companies for the folks that you need extra help watching them. The county can't afford to handle all of that. They can't afford, the budget is not to where they can do that. But if you've got a strong pretrial release program that can assist you with people that are low risk, that's what you use.
Now, again, when is election time? Let's look in the camera.
The election time is May 14th through the 18th. And May the 22nd is the actual date. If you want amazing days, I would ask you to vote for Marilynn Mayse. I'm your candidate. I'm the one.
You sound like Muhammad Ali and Cassius
I'm the
Clay
one. I'm a knockout. I'm the one.
All right, let's go. All right, Commish Radio Show. We'll see you guys back next week. Thank you for tuning in. All right. Play some music. Let's roll. Let's go in.